guys, it's Sophie. So I had hoped to be able to do my July haul for you today, and nearly all of the books are here, but there are another 2 that I'm waiting for. So I thought I'll hold off, I'll do it for you next weekend, and who knows, maybe I'll grab a few more in the interim. It's me, there might be a bigger pile next time I look, but yeah, so look out for that, that'll be there next week. But just for now, I thought I would do a currently reading video because I'm reading 3 bigger books at the moment, and will be doing for a little bit of time just because they are so large, so I wanted to have a chat to you about them. So the first of the sort of bigger books that I'm reading, I know you guys have heard me talk about before, and it is Strangeness in My Mind by Orphan Pamuk. I think this book looks bigger than it is because it is a big book, isn't it? Like, it's 800 or so pages long, I think. Maybe a little bit shorter than that, sort of 750 pages. I am just really intimidated by this. I've started it and I've read 68 pages so far, and actually I found it really easy to read when I was reading it, but I put it down and I jumped into some shorter things the beginning of May, and just haven't come back to it yet. So it's on my pile. I think what I'll try and do is each time I finish a book, I'll try and read 100 pages of this one, and then maybe it will just take off and I'll just keep reading it. But I just want to keep bashing on through because I don't want to end up with those books stuck on my TBR again. And the next book is one that I haven't hauled for you guys, unfortunately. It just sort of arrived at the wrong time, but that is The Kroger by Erik. This is an awfully big book. It is sort of heavy and sort of relatively fat and relatively tall as well. So it is sort of even bigger than it looks in person. It was originally 3 novels, a sort of Swedish trio, and it's been condensed down to 1 novel for the UK and released in the States and Canada. This is the edition from the States, which I think is much greater than the UK one that we have. As a book itself, like as a physical object, it's gorgeous. It's got the, like, if you can see it, like the deckled edges all the way along, and it's lovely. A couple of pages are literally were stuck together and I had to sort of get a knife and take them apart, so that was quite nice. And I'm a fair way through this book. I'm hoping to finish this off today. I am here. And I have some significant issue with this book. I am going to make a video just chatting about this one on its own, because I have enough of an issue with some of the things it's doing that I want to just rant about it. But yeah, I mean, I've only heard positive things from everyone else, so I don't know quite what it is that they're enjoying, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I will rant about this one very shortly. I might make this my Wednesday video if I finish it this weekend. And then the last of the big books I'm currently reading is definitely the one that's the most intimidating. So I haven't hauled this one for you. I bought Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace, and I'm buddy reading this one with Philippa from the Garden of Reading, because it was sitting on her shelf and she'd said that she wanted to get to it, but she hadn't got to it yet, and I had sort of had my eye out for it. You know that I love books that are challenging and a bit sort of poncy to some extent, that and I just thought this would be right up my street, so I said if she wanted to read it then I'd buddy read it with her. So I've been reading this all week, and I'm 80 pages in, and that feels like such an achievement. This book is dense, it's heavy, it's complicated, and I absolutely love it so far. I'm finding it really funny, and when I'm sort of thinking back on it, despite the sort of difficulty in the language and the sort of complexity of the topics broached, you could kind of remember it in quite a sort of simple way, and it is just kind of quite funny. And yeah, so I'm bashing my way through this one. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. I think when I finish The Crow Girl today and get that thing done, I'm going to spend most of my time on Infinite Jest, which probably means this month I'm not going to have all that many books read, so just be aware this is going to be probably a pretty short sort of wrap up for me at the end of the month, because I think I am going to be working on really big chunky books this month. The other thing that slows me down about Infinite Jest, but I want to keep doing it, is I have this little book here, and what I do is I have words basically that I have found in my book. So there's some, like, I have like some Arabic words in there as well, like there's some Latin in there, there's just some complicated English words. But yeah, so whenever I find a word I don't recognise in a book, I write it down and I go away and I look up the meaning and I write that down next to it. And then I think that makes me remember the words better. Because if I read over something, and let's say like pediological was one that I read, and I can't remember what it was, Miss Lade I think it was in, and I knew I'd read it before, and I knew I'd looked it up before, and it just was really frustrating because I felt like I haven't learned it, I haven't actually done anything, and for me writing stuff down really helps it stick for me, and I can think, oh, I think I wrote that before, and it sort of triggers the memory a little bit more. So yeah, that's my aim, is sort of expanding my vocabulary. But because Infinite Jest is Infinite Jest, there are hundreds and hundreds of words I don't know, and it means I'm stopping probably 4 or 5 times a page on average to write down something and look up something. So yeah, it's just going to be a little bit of a slow read. But I'm really enjoying reading these bigger books at the moment. I normally tend to go for like 200-page books. Clearly now's the time for the 700 plus. I hope that you guys are enjoying your reading this weekend. Let me know if you have any great big intimidating books that you're also working your way through while the weather's lovely and your mood's high and you're not going to get depressed and throw yourself off a bridge if it's a book that's more than 100 pages long. But yeah, hopefully you're all well, and I'll see you soon in my next video, which is probably going to be me ranting about the Kroger. Bye bye. I need to just accept that no one cares about the stars but me.